Hey guys, today I want to show you another very powerful build that I've done. And as always, first things first, I choose a weapon and build a build around that weapon. Okay, what is the first all about? The first is about the following weapon. This piece, the Sound Assault Rifle. By default, this is one of the worst guns in the game because of two major reasons. The first being accuracy and the second being stability. We, those are two stats that are so bad in the game that you don't really want to mess around with it. It has low damage, a lot of rate of fire, but on higher difficulties, by default, you don't have a lot of time to stick around out of cover and shoot enemies, okay? Then the third negative point, arguably, is the munition. Basically, you reload 3 times and then you have no ammo anymore, and you have to go around and looking for ammo and stuff like that. So, how can we turn this piece of crap into a massive weapon of destruction? Well, it's pretty simple. What you need is the augmentation seeking plasma system. This does that the bullets uh, fly like homing missiles and seek their targets. Okay, so you just shoot in the general direction of an enemy and the bullets will do the rest. Okay, so imagine 800 shots all being like homing missiles. Okay, that sounds already good. The second thing that you need absolutely for this is the augmentation vintage heatsink. What this does is basically it turns your weapon into an infinite amount of uh, ammo shooting gun, like Mass Effect 1. For a weapon that has about 800 shots in its magazine, this is pretty reliable. The vintage heatsink is pretty good with weapons that have high capacity of clip size. Okay, with those two augmentations, you develop your weapon. And for if you have the augment AVP, so that you can make one slot more, then I would recommend to use the +2 mod slots in, and the rest you go for weapon damage. But I took the trade-off to get 2 mod slots more and 3% less weapon damage, because the weapon damage is not as necessary as you would think. It's not a 1000 damage sniper that you try to increase to the absolute maximum. This is dead by 1000 needles. Okay, so what mods do I use? I use the light magazine, I use the AR receiver, and I use the short barrel for weapon damage. Let's see how this looks. Alright, so this is basically the golden standard. This modification makes it so that the weapon is basically penetrating through cover. The enemies can do nothing. They will take less damage, yes, but you don't care because you sit behind cover or wherever you are, and uh, your homing ammunition is doing the rest. Okay? And this is very needed. This is needed with the homing seeking system. For any weapon that you craft, you always need this one if you use the seeking augmentation. Then what you absolutely need is the assault rifle clip size augmentation. With this weapon, this is so OP. Imagine a weapon that has 850 rounds in its clip with a plus 50% upgrade. This is pretty insane. And last but not least, you take some damage bonus. And you can ignore accuracy and stability with the seeking system because you don't really care. You don't have to target or hit something. You just point your gun in the general direction of enemies and your weapon does the rest, as I already said. Okay, so let's just jump on the stats here. You see 190 clip size. Okay, maybe 850 is the rate of fire. Okay. So you have 190 bullets now in the gun. Good. All right. Let's show you just the weapon alone, so you get a basic proof of concept here.
Let's do this!
Alright. This is just
Nice
the gun only, right? And you see how much bullets you can fire before anything goes down. It's about 10 seconds of shooting with all the clip size modifications that I built into this. Okay, now let's go over the first ability that I choose to use with this build. The first ability that I use with this build is Turbocharge. Here we go. And I use the plus 50% duration because that makes it 12 seconds, right? And 12 seconds gives me just enough time with all the clip size enhancement and rate of fire enhancement to basically empty the weapon in the same time as turbocharge goes on cooldown. What that means is the following. Now I can shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot all the duration of turbocharge. And there we go. The weapon is empty and turbocharge goes on cooldown. Okay, so that's step one. Getting turbocharge together with this weapon. And of course, because of the weapon clip size bonus that you get from Soldier, I take Soldier. And then the weapon damage is also nice to have, but weapon accuracy is bad, and damage resistance is nice. The granting escalating damage bonus for every target killed in a short time, I can't judge this yet, but some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. Okay, so after turbocharge, of course you want assault rifles. You want to pick the assault rifle weight cooldown. Spare ammo you don't need with the vintage heat system. Plus 25% assault rifle clip size, of course. And well, here for every hit that you do, the target takes 24% more damage. And this resets when you do not hit the target for 2 seconds. But basically with this build, you hit the target constantly for about 20 seconds. So first the normal magazine, right, without turbocharge. Okay, and now look what happens. 30%, 20%, bam, turbocharge back to 100%, okay? This is how turbocharge was intended to function in this game. This is not a bug abuse or anything else fancy. This is just simply how the turbocharge should function. It reloads your clip and makes an increased rate of fire and so on and so on. Okay, with this weapon however it gets OP. And let's get back to the skills. This is why we took all those things in an assault rifle. Okay, let's go to the next one. Combat fitness, of course. You want more shields, you want more health, you want This is pretty crap. But this regeneration, yes, always welcome. And here's the good stuff. The 20% weapon clip size, and here the regen delay reduction in cover and resistance in cover, since you can basically shoot from cover, and yeah, then you get 100 damage reduction, at which point the soft cap kicks in of damage reduction. Okay. Combat tools, pretty unnecessary. This is just a filler that you use to get like more points in the soldier department. Although this 100 damage while evading is not bad, um, yeah, and then the occasional melee hit that you do. But basically, this is a filler stat. Okay. Now let's go over to biotics. Why do I choose biotics? Backlash and barrier are so good in this build. It's you can't even imagine how good this works together. Basically what happens is when you take shit, you can use backlash to just get back behind cover. This is when something big hits you. I've done a video where I killed the architect on hardcore difficulty with this exact build, and when the architect is shooting with its machine gun fire, backlash is strong enough to save me from any damage and give me enough time to get back to my cover, or give me enough time for the vintage heatsink to kick in and reload my weapon while I take no damage. So, and for this to work, you need the Aegis health and not the recharge speed. You don't care about the recharge speed. All you care about is when you use it, is that it is as strong as it possibly can. And then the reflective projectiles is also pretty neat, to be honest. This is pretty neat because if there's a bazillion of enemies, when you go back to try and reach cover, this actually does damage. You can argue though more Iggy's health is also good, but I just like this. It's the flavor. Possibly this would be better, but this is the flavor. And well, here restores shield over 3 seconds after releasing backlash, can restore up to 50% of shield strength, scale to the damage absorbed by the Aegis. So when something gets through, right, when your backlash gets kicked out because the enemies are doing too much damage, you get a regeneration of 50% of your total shields over 3 seconds. This is incredibly good. And here is the reason why I didn't take the damage increase. This is because it's just for 3 seconds after releasing backlash. And the zoned assault rifle needs a wind-up time of about 3 seconds to really kick in. And then, because of the seeking rounds, the damage is very delayed. Yeah? It takes up to 5 seconds or something like that until you actually do damage. So this is a no-go. And then barrier, of course, barrier is good in every build. It's just so good in every build because of this, which is basically a return back to life for free a card when shit hits the fan. And well, for the rest, the movement speed is also not bad. While you have shields, you have plus 10% movement speed, which is really good when you are considering that you're running around with a big ass machine gun. And health and shield regeneration delay and shield regeneration, and of course all the other good things in here. Very, very good. Now, let's go to the final skill tree and to the final ability, which is I chose the Remnant VI, which you unlock a little bit in after I think around 15-20 hours or so in the game. You can unlock that, and this is because it's one skill less to worry about. I could also use concussion with all the damage bonuses that I get and stuff like that, but I don't wanted that. And the Remnant VI is pretty good. It's pretty good. It does consistent damage, and if you train it correctly, it basically distracts enemies. This is, well, let's go above here, plus 40% VI health regen and plus 30% VI health regen delay reduction, just so that it survives longer between getting shot at and stuff like that. You could also go for the recharge speed, but I have another built symbiosis that covers my power recharge speed, so I took this one. Here, plus 100% VI health. Again, I want it to stick as long in the enemy's faces as possible. And I take the trigger combo detonations because I don't have any ability that primes the enemies. Well, I could also go with this, but I don't have a detonator and I don't have a primer. So my teammates are doing the combo detonations and priming, and this one can do that as well. Alright, good. Now, the good part. Here is all luxury, damage, and defense and shields and power restoration and defense and stuff. What you absolutely need is this one, the health regeneration bonus, health regeneration cap increased to 50%. What this does is basically you heal back to 50% HP after a short after your regeneration speed kicks in. Okay, so you get shot at and then you go behind cover, and if you don't get any more hits, your regeneration cap is deciding to which point your health goes back up. Okay, with this it goes to 50%, and the health regeneration bonus makes it so if you have anything to heal, it increases this. Okay, but the thing is, as you can read here, you need to activate attach power for that to kick in. But we have the remnant VI, so how does that work? Well, let me show you how it works. Alright. I call my VI. Okay, so you saw I heal a bit. Now, whenever I press this button again to order the VI to attack something, watch what happens. Okay? Healing, 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 healing. Okay? So this basically, I don't know if that is a bug or not, but I didn't do anything, it's just the skill works like that. So, and there's about 3 different bots that you can have flying around with you. If you're the engineer has one as a passive, then there's another one on assault drone here. Attack, this assault turret that flies around, or well, you can put it somewhere and then shoots and stuff like that, and it works also with this one. So it's not just a remnant VI that does this behavior, but it's also the assault turret. Okay, but basically this regenerates your health, which makes, if you want a very defensive build, I'd suggest you go, instead of soldier, you go sentinel and go all out HP improving and damage resistance, and then you're basically unstoppable right there. Okay, yeah, auxiliary systems, power recharge time rebate. This is also very, very, very important. This is basically one of the most important skills, because what do you do when turbocharge is down for 20 seconds? Well, pretty not much. But with this, watch what happens. I do also have to say that I use the fusion mod on my armor. No, I will go over the armor later. But I use the fusion mod for plus 50% power reduction, okay? So now watch what happens. I activate turbocharge. You shoot your enemy and stuff like that. Okay. And then when turbocharge is done, I press my remnant VI button and watch what happens with the cooldown. Okay? So that's about 5 seconds now from 20 seconds. And you're back to shooting full time. Okay? Now you understand why I said earlier in the beginning of the video, this is one of the most symbiotic build that I ever came up with, because everything works so well in each other. It's there's nothing that does not fit in this build. And now let's go on the final phase. Let's go over the armor. I use the cat armor for weapon damage, and I use health on the gear because it's just the best. Same thing with the arms, same thing with the legs. But for the chest, I use the remnant chest because well, there's nothing else that makes sense, to be honest. You could go with the 15% weapon damage increase from the resistance armor, but that is limited to your current unlock level, okay? This is a chest rank 10 from the remnants, and it gives me plus 15 damage resistance, plus 17 health regeneration, plus 17% shield regeneration, and plus 40% health and shield regeneration delay reduction. This is so good that I just simply don't want to go all offense and no defense. This alone, with all the kinetic recoil mods in it, brings alone this chest piece to 15 plus 25 is 40 damage resistance alone with this piece of gear, okay? And now with the soldier profile, your damage resistance is almost at 50, just from one chest piece and from your soldier profile. The damage reduction cap starts at 100. So at 100 you get diminished returns from damage resistance. And with all the passives that we have, behind cover we have 100 damage resistance, while evading we have 100 damage resistance. So this adds up. It's about 150 damage resistance almost all the time, except if you're standing in the open field. And even for the open field, now we talk about squad mates. I take Cora, and Cora's shield boost, if you are doing her mission, you can use this, which makes Cora and boosted allies take less damage while shield boost is active. Okay, so that's another 50 damage resistance. So even if you're in the open and Cora makes her shield buff, you are running around with almost 100 damage resistance. That's 2 points off cap. That's why I use Cora and Drag. And for the rest, I don't really care, because you are alone with this build, one-man army, such of speaking. Okay, and now finally, let's do some gameplay.
We walked right into that one.
Don't let him have the high ground!
No going back now. Keep it up.
More of them coming in upstairs!
They threw us one hell of a welcome party.
So, I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, maybe check out my other Mass Effect Andromeda vids. And if you have any ideas for other insane builds, leave it in the comments and I check them out. Have a nice day.
Got cats.